Hi everybody, super happy to see you here. Today should be technically a short one. Some of you might know that I am a mentor for the Association of Illustrators, and the other day I was having a mentoring session and my mentee asked me how much video or photos should I put on my social media, and by that she meant mostly Instagram, but social media. So before we get started properly, I just want to give a big disclaimer. I'm no social media expert. I can only talk from my own experience and what I've been reading about or what I've heard before. And also a caveat to that is it really depends what you're doing and what your goal is. At the end of the day, you know what's good for your account and for your goals. So I'm going to talk about this through the lens of say you're a creative or a maker or an indie business. Feel free to take whatever feels useful, whatever you like, and to leave out the rest. And let's get started. So from that question, how much photo or video do I need on my social media? As I said, it really depends. It depends what your goal is with your account. It depends what sort of people you want to reach and what you're using your account for. So let's say, for example, when I started my Instagram, my first idea behind it was to use it as a portfolio, just a separate one to have a presence more than anything else, but I wasn't thinking of doing anything else with it at the time. That was when I started. And what happened is that by connecting with people and by interacting with other people and other accounts, I started understanding what I like to do on Instagram. So again, I'm going to talk mostly about Instagram because I don't really do most of the other social media. I do have a Facebook page, I do have a Twitter, but I very hardly use them. So most of the stuff I'm going to be talking about right now is mostly Instagram. So back to what I was saying. So I realized a little by little, I started to understand the sort of things that I liked to see and to take inspiration from those accounts, not copying exactly what they were doing because that's bad, but getting inspiration and trying to do it my own way. And what I realized was that I really enjoyed seeing a little bit of the person behind the business, the person behind the illustrations. So that's when I started trying to show a little bit more of me. At first, it was very difficult for me because I was watching a lot of accounts and following a lot of accounts that did analog illustration, so actual painting on paper with actual paints and brushes. And I'm mostly a digital artist. I do a little bit of analog stuff, but I'm mostly a digital artist. So I was like, how can I show a little bit of myself when I'm on my social media? And somebody suggested to me that I could maybe, when I am sketching or drawing, like showing my hands, because also at first I didn't want and it's still the case, but I didn't want my brand to be about my face and about me and like what I do in my spare time, that kind of thing. Like if that's what you're into, go for it. It just wasn't my brand. So showing my hands on sketchbooks, like me sketching, and then I think the first few photos of me sort of like behind the scenes were actually shots that were taken sort of like a slight 3/4 view, so not even completely my face, because I didn't really want to show that at the time. So I guess if you are shy about showing your face on camera, that's something you can maybe try. Not showing yourself like from the front, but maybe you can start by showing a little bit of like slightly on the side, so either like side of you or 3/4. So for example, you're working, whether it's on your computer, whether it's on your desk, doing whatever you're doing, you can start with that. shots of hands are always good. And then whether you need to post selfies or like what looks like a selfie or videos, no, you don't. The reason why I do it, so a lot of the time you will realize, you might see that the photos of me that look like selfies, they are not selfies. Well, they are, but they're actually covers for those after hours videos, because I wasn't a big fan of having to choose from a very small selection of shots from the video, so like, you know, with faces and all. So I mean, I like to have fun, but yes, some of them, sometimes I could get a good shot and sometimes I just couldn't get anything good. Hey Marianne, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Today I'm talking about how much video or photos to show on your social media. That was a question that one of my mentees asked me recently, and I just thought that I would share with you guys what I told her, basically. So knowing that I'm no social media expert, but yeah, that's just like, you know, my experience and what I've heard and read. So yeah, showing a little bit of yourself, and that's something that I've experienced, both something that I like, that I've people have come to me saying that they really like that, and also that I've read and heard, is that showing a little bit of yourself is usually a good thing. And I was just saying that you don't have to do videos or to do portrait photos like selfies if you don't want to. The reason I do, so now you know that the photos of me that you see, like 95% of the time, it's actually a cover for those after hours videos. And when I do a video, it's really only because I find it easier to talk in order to share my opinion rather than to write, and because I can be concise, but I like to talk quite a lot, so I feel I've got more freedom when it comes to talking to camera. Marianne, Atelier Marie-Lucienne is saying, I haven't done any live since November. It's absolutely fine. I think at the time, like we were all doing the online markets, weren't we? And you know, if you haven't done a live in a while, it's okay. Like there's no pressure to do any lives either. For me, like for example, doing videos, as I was saying, is easier to talk rather than to write, but also I am a mentor for the Association of Illustrators, and I'm also going to be offering very soon mentoring services from my website, directly on my website. So that's a way for me to share my opinion, to share my experience, and to get people to know me a little bit better and what I think, and so that if they are thinking of maybe booking a session with me, they know what to get, roughly. So that's why I'm doing those lives, because I enjoy them, and to get you guys to know me a little bit better. So yeah, how much photo and video do you need? That's really up to you. I am sort of lucky in the sense that I grew up very used to the camera. My parents were taking lots of photos and were filming us and, well, me and my siblings all the time. So from a young age, I got used to being on film and being on photos and smiling for photos and getting comfortable with the camera, whether it's for shooting, filming, or for taking photos. So what was very difficult for me not so long ago, I'm still nervous when I do those videos, by the way. Like, it's maybe you don't see it, but I always have to push myself, and you don't have to do lives, you don't have to do videos. It's something that I also want to get better at, so the only way to get better at something is to practice. That's why I'm doing them. Yeah, so if you're comfortable with the camera and you're just a little bit scared of what people might say or what might happen, I would say try to push yourself. Try to push yourself to go beyond and to get out of your comfort zone, because that's the only way you're going to grow and you're going to learn. If you are not comfortable with the camera, it doesn't define you, by the way. It doesn't mean that because you're not comfortable now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be comfortable in 5 or 10 years time, and maybe you're never going to be comfortable, and it's okay. But yeah, I guess my point there is that if it comes from a place of fear, I really encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and to try it. At least try it a couple of times, just to see if you like it or not. Maybe you realize, oh, that wasn't so bad, or maybe you're going to be after a couple of times. And I'm saying a couple of times also because one time it's very difficult to get a sense of what something is like after just one time. So yeah, do it a couple of times, maybe 3 times. See how you feel about it. If it just doesn't feel like you, don't do videos or don't do photos. If you feel that it's scary or challenging, but you could get into it and there's something and you feel you could learn and that's something you want to do, even if you're scared, then that's when it's good to push yourself a little bit. So yeah, check in with yourself. Place of fear, if it's from a place of fear, try to push a little bit. If it's just that it's not your personality, it's absolutely fine. It also depends, as I was saying at the beginning of this video, it really depends on what your goal is with your social media accounts. Whether it's to connect with people, whether it's to just show, to use as a portfolio to show what you're doing in your spare time. There are some accounts of very successful people that don't have a single photo of them, and they're doing really well, so it's definitely not a requirement. And at the end of the day, only you can know what's good for you and for your business and for your accounts. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout in the comments. I'll reply with, I'd be delighted to reply and to see what you think. And to see what you've got to ask. Thank you very much for following me, and if you're not, please follow me if you like those videos so that you can get more and see also my other posts. Thank you very much for being here tonight, or today, depending on where you are in the world. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next Monday for another After Hours. See you, bye bye.